Hello everyone, David Twigger back with Twigger Tidbits, and of course it's TV Tuesday, which has become super popular, and we're very thankful for everybody who watches. And today we're going to have a lot of fun for the shows because we're just going to have some really great shows. Then we're going to throw some fashion and culture at you at the end because we all need that. And let's go ahead and get started. So today we're starting off with one of my favorites. If you follow me on social media, I talk about it all the time, and that show is on Hulu, and it's called Holey Moley. It's just become so much fun and a lot funnier than you ever expect. The second season is about 10 times as much fun as the first, and it's actually hosted by true sports commentator Joe Tessitore, is that his name? And then Rob Riggle, who's a comedian who's just too funny. Just way funny, and like they crack each other up and they have a blast to make the show even more fun. So basically what it is that it's people who go through a competition of this ginormous, crazy mini golf competition. And so they're out in the middle of nowhere in Northern California, and they're talking about mini golf, and they literally have a new hole called Dragon's Breath where they put you up in these metal outfits and literally set you on fire and expect you to then putt through golf. There's like the Dutch one where they like people get hit by windmills, go flying into the water, people get hurt all the time. Not majorly hurt, but it's so much fun to try and watch them keep a straight face, and they can't. And of course, when they start talking about the hole, which is called Uranus, it's just over and you will just lose it. So if you want to start with the second season, please feel free to do so. But the first season is really fun. That kept us going. And the second season has just made it so much more. It's so much fun. It's just people go crazy. They're serious about putting, but it's just craziness. And this is the episode right here on Holey Moley that I'm trying to stop. Is season 2, episode 5, where Josh Duhamel and a few other celebrities like pop up to cheer on in front of theirs, and Rob just goes crazy, like stalking and stuff. And it's just a hoot. So it's so much fun. So make sure you take the time, and if you're not sure about it, you're like, don't be all serious when trying to watch it, because they're not trying to be serious at all. They're just having a huge amount of fun, which we all need right now. Make sure you find Holey Moley on Hulu. Holey Moley on Hulu. That should be a t-shirt, right? And just enjoy yourselves. You want to start with, a little bit season 1, but you've got to watch season 2 because they just, amp it up for the golfing, which is so much fun. And then the next show was actually brought on by a friend of mine who watches the Twigger Tidbits, which I really, really appreciate. And we're going to go ahead and bring up, the technology isn't working that well today, but we're going to try and find it real quick. So, those of us, if you're not in Phoenix, be glad, because it is hotter than heck again. It's like 3 weeks straight of over 110, and we're not really sure what's going on. And then, of course, we've got technical difficulties when I'm trying to do this, which is really not fun at all. So we're going to try and get through this and see if maybe it will work. It's not at all, of course. So I'm filming this and it's not working. So we're going to try and go in and find the next show. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There it goes. Okay. So it's on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, you can probably find it on YouTube and find some shows for it as well. And the name of the show is Nailed It. It's a baking show that takes a bunch of bakers who really have no business baking. They're horrible. And they give them these really intricate treats to start off with and these giant cakes to make, and make the bakes. And it's what they end up with is just hilarious because it's so wrong. The host is a hoot, and they have to make these pretty things. See, here's one. And then what comes up of what they tried to make was that stained glass window and then a cookie. And that's what they end up with. It's so... They try not to laugh, but then they have to laugh. And because you have to end up with that. Nailed it. And then they have to eat it, and sometimes it tastes awful. They have to just spit it out. But it's so much fun. They have comedian and guest judges, and they just have so much fun with the contestants who are really there to have a really good time. But you can win $10,000. So if you're not a good baker like myself, I'm thinking about going on Nailed It. How much fun would that be? And it's a lot of fun. And the good news is on Nailed It is that not only is there Nailed It, but there's Nailed It Mexico, Nailed It Spain, Nailed It France, and Nailed It Germany right now. I'm sure there's going to be more. So you get to do that, and they're in subtitles and stuff, but they're just wacky and even more crazy. So it's a lot of fun. So make sure you look up Nailed It. And my friend Rome, who's in Vancouver, right? Thank you so much for tuning in and saying, mentioning and reminding me about Nailed It, because we love it. And we're going to keep watching those, and you guys keep making suggestions and stuff. And enjoy yourselves with Nailed It, because it's so much fun. It's just so much fun of what they're trying to do. So then, right now, we're going to go ahead and, of course, talk about a documentary. And what we're going to do is call the documentary, and we have a costume change real quick because of who it is. So many of you know that I'm like obsessed with like fashion and fashion history and stuff like that. So a lot of times, you see me just in t-shirts and stuff, which is just me. But I'm also just a huge, there's the fashion book, which is like my Bible that I keep right here on the coffee table. And I've got photography books and fashion, things like that. So our documentary for you, because we're going to add some culture and art into your world, is Diana Vreeland, The Eye Has to Travel. And for those of you who are fashionistas and the history buffs like myself, you're going to know that she is an icon in the fashion and art and publication world. She worked for Harper's Bazaar, and she was editor-in-chief for Vogue from 1963 to 1971, and she's just an amazing woman. She is all about an era that has gone by as far as art and creativity and fashion, and she took those things and photography and elevated them to a world that unfortunately is no longer around, I feel, and made just incredible photos and pictures. And she has the most incredible reputation, and everybody absolutely, obviously, was either afraid of her or loved working with her, because she created some of the most amazing pictures, and she elevated models and photographers, and it's an incredible piece to watch. You'll enjoy it if you enjoy anything about the 60s and 70s fashion and the magazines. And before they were real powerhouses, she helped create these powerhouses. She created, what Vogue is today, and then what the other editors-in-chief, like Anna Wintour and some other ones, came afterwards and just kept building up. But the fashion in there and the trips they used to take and the money they spent on this to create these art forms is incredible. So do yourself a favor, sit down, have a glass of wine if you must, and find Diana Vreeland, The Eye Has to Travel. There's dozens of books about her, but she is, to me, just one of like the top icons that I can't get enough of. And you'll enjoy it just for the looks of the rooms and the fashion and the design, as far as the interior decorating and things that went on. And that's really what I feel like when I do the design for my events and such. I do the same thing. It's not just a tablescape, and it's not just an event. Like, I create these pieces of art, which is the whole experience. And that's what they were really doing with these photo shoots. And it's really engaging, and I hope you enjoy it. So make sure you watch it. It's on a couple different platforms, but you can definitely see it on YouTube, and it's on Amazon Prime, I think, here, and a few others. So sit back and enjoy. And thanks for tuning in to TV Tuesdays. Don't forget, watch some Holey Moley, and you're gonna laugh. You are gonna laugh. And make sure you send in those comments and suggestions for other TV shows, because we're always watching that. Next week, we're gonna get really serious on a sci-fi show, and then another documentary, and of course, then a really fun sitcom that I love that is no longer on, but stay tuned to find out. Thanks for being here. Share the happiness, be love, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much. Bye.